This is probably not gonna be a very long video, but whatever, I don't care. Let's talk about Faramir and how the movies absolutely slander him. Though, I guess technically it'd be libel since the Lord of the Rings movies are a published work. Like, if the movies existed as, say, a play or a novel in the universe of the books, that'd be libel, right? Whatever, you know what I mean. Faramir, captain of Gondor, up there with Aragorn and Legolas in terms of guys from The Lord of the Rings that young Van had a crush on. I swear to God, if I'd been born cis, my queer realization would have gone so much smoother, but that is a topic for another time. Anyway, so, Faramir, Boromir's younger brother, captain of Gondor, half of the reason I still want to fucking cry every time I think about Boromir for more than 5 seconds. He's wonderful and I love him to death. Which I may already have mentioned in my previous video on Eowyn, I'm not entirely sure. Of the brothers, he's the younger by 5 years, and he was only 5 years old when his mother, Findulias, died. It's vague, and we never really get any further details, but she suffered some kind of complications during his birth. Which, of course, Denethor already resented him for, even before her death. And while she did her best to raise him on her own, the growing shadow of Mordor, combined with whatever complications she suffered during Faramir's birth, claimed her life at the age of 38, which, given her Dunedain heritage, was extremely young. After Findulias's death, Denethor only got worse, blatantly favoring Boromir over Faramir, but the brothers cared for, loved, and respected each other. Boromir took up Findulias's duties as Faramir's protector as best a grieving 10-year-old can. For the direct quote, "Yet between the brothers there was great love, and had been since childhood, when Boromir was the helper and protector of Faramir. No jealousy or rivalry had arisen between them since, for their father's favor or for the praise of men. It did not seem possible to Faramir that anyone in Gondor could rival Boromir, heir of Denethor, captain of the White Tower. And of like mind was Boromir." And I just love that so much. I adore how much they cared for and supported each other, even though we, for obvious reasons, don't get to actually see much of it. To be fair to the movies, we actually get to see a little more of it on screen, with the flashback scene in Osgiliath.
Good speech. Nice and short.
Leaves more time for drinking. Break out the ale! These men are thirsty! Remember today, little brother. Today, life is good. Remember today, little brother.
So I will grudgingly give them that point. I suppose they've earned it. I'm trying not to get sidetracked here, but I love these brothers so much. I love them so much you don't understand. Anyway, moving on. Faramir always felt more of a calling towards music and study, learning from Gandalf, much to his father's displeasure. He's a gentle and kind soul, and he holds to his promises. After the War of the Ring, he became the first Prince of Ithilien and a key advisor to King Elessar. He plays a big role in Eowyn's healing process, spending time and talking with her in the Houses of Healing after the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. And, of course, they went on to get married and settle in Ithilien and have a son and all that good shit, but anyway, moving on. His most standout quote, in my mind, has always been, "War must be while we defend our lives against a destroyer who would devour all. But I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness, nor the arrow for its swiftness, nor the warrior for his glory. I love only that which they defend." It speaks to his character, and in one passage sums up his most important character traits very neatly. He's only fighting this war because he has to. He has no wish for glory and bloodshed, and would much rather spend his days in peace. A thoroughly sensible position, if you ask me. But more importantly, for this particular gripe I have with the movies, are these quotes. First, from when Frodo and Sam are newly captured by the Rangers of Ithilien, and Faramir didn't yet know what exactly Frodo carried with him. But fear no more. I would not take this thing if it lay by the highway. Not were Minas Tirith falling in ruin, and I alone could save her, so using the weapon of the Dark Lord for her good and my glory. No, I do not wish for such triumphs, Frodo, son of Drogo. But even more importantly, after Sam let slip that the thing Frodo carried was Sauron's ring, the One Ring, Faramir had this to say. We are truth speakers, we men of Gondor. We boast seldom, and then perform, or die in the attempt. Not if I found it on the highway would I take it, I said. Even if I were such a man as to desire this thing, and even though I knew not clearly what this thing was when I spoke, still I should take those words as a vow and be held by them. Now, people who have only seen the movies might be taken aback by that, and I would not blame them, because it very much goes against what we see of Faramir in the movies. In the books, Frodo and Sam were never hauled to Osgiliath. This...
Take them to my father. Tell him Faramir sends a mighty gift. A weapon that will change our fortunes in this war.
never happened. Their entire contact with Faramir was spent in Ithilien, most of it in the hidden caves of the rangers there. Faramir did what his brother could not. He resisted the call of the ring. He spoke his vow that he would not take it even if it lay abandoned by the side of the highway, and he held to it even though he didn't know exactly what he was promising at the time. This is not, of course, saying that Boromir is any less for falling. The call of the ring is not one easily ignored, but Faramir did so, and that was important. And the movies did his character a massive disservice, and I will never forgive them for it. That, and making Gimli into a comic relief character. But I'll save that grievance for another video. That is all for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you stick around. Bye!